we also got Powder on the line for you here to get some of his insights into, how he's been taking HPL, the research he's been doing, and how he's been moving forward from all those sorts of things. And it sounds like he's here right now, if I'm correct. Powder, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Hello.
Hey, how's it going, man? Just got back from DreamHack. We do want to talk to you about a couple of other things, though, and the first one is how you prepared for Tides in this matchup in particular. You didn't have to play the match, but talk to us about the research that you did coming into it and what you expected from Tides, given what you've seen from him in the past, and how you intended to tackle that moving forward.
I didn't prepare that much since, I've been traveling a lot and basically been at DreamHack for a few days now, but I've been talking to all the pro players and stuff like that, and I found some decks that I wanted to play today. Basically, today I was going to test some new strategies, some new decks, so I was really looking forward to today. It's kind of a shame that we didn't have to play.
Yeah, you told us before the show that you were very disappointed you didn't get to play today. Sorry about that. But I have a couple questions. Since you said you've been traveling a lot and didn't get to prepare for today's matchup too much, did you feel prepared for your first matchup? Have you been doing your homework? And what do you think of the HPL format so far?
I think I didn't do that much. I played against Kranich, and Kranich didn't have that many games. I think it's kind of hard to prepare in a format like HPL where you can just choose whatever deck you want to play each time. So, sure, I definitely look up the other opponent, see what decks I think he likes the most, and kind of go from there. And I think the best strategy is to play what you're most comfortable with, and in the end, it doesn't really matter what they do.
That's a pretty good point. Now, your next matchup is going to be against Era. Do you know him? Have you played against him? And do you think you'll prepare a little bit more for a more known player? It's someone that you can prepare, they have more matches in the system, and you can see what they've done more.
I have definitely played against him before in some online tournaments. He's not someone that I usually run into. He's not really been at many big events. So, again, I'll probably just be playing what I feel is the best and I want to play.
Yeah, you sort of taking a little bit of a different take on it. We've heard a lot of players say that they've been studying people and seeing their patterns lately and moving forward, but you've kind of always been known for playing some of the most powerful strategies that are available and in a very wide range of classes for that matter. Talk to us a little bit about your practice with Hearthstone, like on your sort of day-to-day basis, and what do you think makes you such a strong player in particular?
I was probably one of the first guys that kind of integrated both servers and played tournaments on both EU and NA, simply because I was the first European on an NA team, so I was basically living on NA time, so I basically just played more tournaments than anyone else, and that made me play more tournament games and just become very comfortable with the tournament format. And then I'm kind of just a guy that likes to try different things, and I don't just stick with one deck. And in a format like this, you kind of get rewarded for knowing how to play more than the set 3 that you could do in a Conquest format. So I like to try new things. I like to kind of mix it up as well. So, I like this format. It kind of plays to my strengths as well. People don't really know what I'm going to play, so.
All right, so you said this format plays to your strengths and you like that you get to mix it up. Who do you think is going to be the hardest opponent for you here in this league?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I look up to a lot of different people in the league. I know some of them from meeting him and such. Show is probably the guy that I'm most afraid of. I think he's probably the best player, so I'm going to say Show.
Well, I think if you continue to practice and make sure that your strategies are on point, and maybe head over to pvplive.net and research Show a little bit and see what he's been doing leading up to the match, that I think you have a good shot at taking it. Powder, congratulations on your win here via forfeit to Tides of Time, and I'm looking forward to seeing you play more here in HPL.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's going to do it for our Powder interview. Again, bright young kid. I met Powder quite a while back, and I spoke with him a little bit more at one of the Gfinity events that I attended, and Just such a bright young man when it comes to Hearthstone. He's so concerned with practicing a lot. You know, he didn't mention here that he practiced specifically for this, but that also is kind of a testament to the way that he has a broad range of strategies. He just likes to practice Hearthstone. And if he feels like he has a very good grasp of what is happening in the metagame, you know, he mentioned that he played on NA and EU and was one of the first players to kind of, you know, branch over and play a lot of tournaments on both sides. You get an overall look at what's happening because the European and the NA meta game is, you know, it's drastically different from time to time. I've played a little bit on Europe, not as much as I have played on NA, but I've noticed that in EU, a lot of control tends to get favored towards the higher end of things, and a lot of times on NA, it's a lot more aggression than you would really expect.
Yeah, so that actually shows probably why he plays such a wide range of decks and is so flexible. Since he plays on 2 different metagames, he has to continually play against different metagames in each server that he's playing on. Now, the thing that I think I took the most away from that was I loved his answer. He actually came up with a real answer to the hard question of who are you the most afraid of, who you think is going to be the hardest test, and he thought it was Sho. Now, Sho is off to a 2-0 start and has looked very good in his first 2 matches, so when they get matched up, I think that's going to be a great match for us to have that night.
Yeah, I got to see if Sho can actually control what's going on versus him, or if Powder can just continue to play power strategies and really put all of his opponents to the test and try to pick up the wins that way. So that's going to do it for our interview with Powder here. Unfortunately, he didn't get to play today, but you will see him play more in HPL again. He's got plenty of matches ahead of him. He's at 2-0 now. That means 13 more matches are going to get played from Powder in the future, and a lot of weeks to come after that. So when we come back, we're going to set up our first actual match of the night here with Green Sheep versus Era. You can head over to pvplive.net, check out exactly how Powder's like to play in the past, see his range of strategies, and exactly how he chooses to play them. Maybe you can help out your own game as well. When we come back, it's going to be our first match of the night with Green Sheep versus Era. Guys, don't go anywhere. You're watching Hearthstone on PvP Live.